My name is Simmie Ogunlade. I'm 18 years old. At 6 weeks old, I was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia, and when I was 16, I had bone marrow transplant. I was considered sickle cell free in August 25th, 2019.
My name is Mrs. Gladys Ogunlade. I'm Simmie's mom.
It was definitely challenging in terms of I was living in constant pain. I'll be driving in the car and my back will start hurting, or I'll be in school and I wouldn't be able to concentrate on what the teacher was teaching. But in terms of my sister, it was hard because I used to compare our activities. So she could do a lot more than I could. I was restricted in the stuff that I could do, and even the what I could do, it was for a certain time limit of how long I could do it for.
I think it was a bit challenging because you come in as twins and looking at your sister doing better than you, which I always encourage her not to look at. And in most cases, she was unable to do what her sister was doing in school, being that she had to go to hospital and at times being on admission. But she was able to do the best she could do.
Yeah, not to compare yourselves.
Just do your best. Just do your best. Don't look at your sibling or your twin sister or even your close friends. Don't look at them and be like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. The little you can do, please, just keep doing it, and I'm sure the Lord will see you through.
Yeah, I would encourage you guys not to compare yourselves to your siblings. Just be proud of the path that you're going down, and just accept the fact that yours is going to be different, but it will still end up as great as your siblings as well. We were referred from Evelina by a sickle cell consultant.
Yeah, one of the sickle cell consultants in Evelina.
Yeah.
To St. Mary's Hospital. And
there they noticed they were comparing our MRIs from 4 years ago, and they saw that the silent infarcts in my head had gotten it had increased.
In your brain?
Yeah. Sorry, in my brain, yeah. It had increased. And then they called it a miracle, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because they didn't expect me to be able to sit down and be able to speak the way I was speaking and stuff like that.
They even said they're expecting you not to be able to think.
Yeah.
The way she's thinking. So we were referred to St. Mary's Hospital in Paddington.
Yeah.
And the consultant in Evelina was expecting us to be on a queue for 1.5 years.
Yeah, the waiting list.
But as God we have it, we got there and we were told if we can do it. We got there in December, and we were told if it's okay for you to have the bone marrow transplant in March.
Yeah.
Then you now said
it was the severity of the MRI scans that allowed us to be able to do our transplant so early as well. Because we would have had to wait even if they accepted us for longer. But because my case was so severe, they allowed us to do it quickly so that it doesn't progress.
Yeah, but we didn't go for March because we were preparing for your GCSE.
Yeah.
So we asked if it's possible for us to do it after the GCSE, which we're given July the 17th, 2018, to come for it, which we eventually did.
I was definitely skeptical that it was going to work, because I just didn't believe that pains that I had experienced my whole life could just disappear. And I was also scared of how long I could spend in the hospital, because they said it varies from 1 month to 2 months. So I didn't want that to be my story.
But to 4 months.
To 4 months.
Yeah, we're told 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Well.
But eventually we didn't spend up to that.
No.
But okay, before we went in, it took us a while because I was trying to, convince her to let her know that she was a bit scared. Yeah. And I was scared as well because they've told us a lot that the medication can affect her one way or the other. And the test we have to do before going in was a bit risky. So before then we just put everything into God's hands. In as much that we really wanted everything to be done. And as a sense, I was still But we went there and everything was okay.
We were told that it was 50% of it working and then 50% of it failing as well. And in terms of the quality of life, they did say that I'll be able to do a lot more than I was before, and that my medications will like drastically reduce, where penicillin being eventually the only medication that I had to take.
Yeah. Prior to going for the procedure, it's easy to notice that she's suffering from something which, well, we thank God after the procedure, she's much more better. The difference between then and now is a huge gap. Physically, she's okay. Mentally, she's okay. She can do all what she was unable to do then. Going swimming, climbing rock and everything. She's doing really, really well now.
Which rock did I? I actually didn't get to speak to anyone before I went in.
I did.
Yeah, mom did, but I didn't. So I just watched like a lot of YouTube videos. But I did try to like restrict myself on the amount I watched, just so I didn't go in with like expectations and fears of like that were influenced by the videos that I watched.
Yeah, I called two parents which I saw on YouTube, and I tried to find them on Instagram just to be able to send a message to them that I would like to talk to them, which I got they sent them the phone number, and I had to call them to ask them if it's worth going for and the risk in it, and they really, really tried their best to advise, even while we were in the hospital doing the procedure. They were calling and trying to encourage us and to
So would you say it was helpful?
It was so helpful.
No, because like it was less intense as they had described it to me. Like it was way easier. We weren't in the hospital for as long as we thought, and the medication didn't take as much like effect on me as it did other patients. So I don't think it was.
I just think it's good, because we saw some that took the same.
The same for everyone.
But it's not the same for everyone. You were so fortunate. We were told we'll be there for minimum of 16 weeks, but we're just there for roughly 4 weeks.
Yeah, we weren't expecting life to be this simple afterwards. Like, I don't know, this is like the best I've ever felt my whole entire life. Like, I do a lot more. I'm more like social, more outgoing, because I have like less appointments to go to. I do have time to like carry out hobbies and like my own interests as well. Yes, but keeping in mind that there is still a possibility of it being passed on to my children. I was definitely paranoid back then. Like every time like I stepped out of my house, I'd make sure I had like 6 layers on, just to make sure that the cold, because it's cold. Yeah, so I'll just like be wary of like what I did wear and like how much I was walking for. And I'm more like active than I've ever been. Like now I could actually say I could go for a run without being so scared of how much pain will come like afterwards. And it's so much easier to sustain as well, because I'm not taking medication morning, evening, night, morning, afternoon and night. It's just like in the morning and in the evening, and it's like one pill as well. So yeah, life has been great.
Yeah. But this crisis, nothing like that.
No more crisis.
Yeah.
No more crisis. Yeah.
There have been no more crisis. I would definitely recommend it. Like there is a lot of strength that you will require to go like through this whole process, but when it's all over, make sure you look back at like how you were before, and make sure not to hide your story, because great people are made by their stories.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and I will definitely, if I have the chance, but preach and say to the whole world, people that are suffering from sickle cell, if they have this opportunity, they should go for it. It's not the way it used to be. We went there. There was up and down, but nothing like a death of any of the kids there. It's kind of scary, but to God being on our side, everything went through. So I will advise anybody that have the opportunity to go for it.